What's up, everyone? Welcome to Cracka Season 3, Episode 30. I want to thank a new subscriber, SRX Blue. Thanks for subscribing, I appreciate it. Which brings me to a point. I'm going to show a haul that I got and talk about some things. I know it's been a while since I made a video. I was pumping them out, but then I stopped. Obviously, I'm doing a lot of packing, and I'm really behind now. I've been trying to, I was going to make videos filming all this stuff, you know, my trade paperbacks, stuff like that, cards and everything, but it was getting to be too much. It was really slowing me down, and then the heat in this apartment is ridiculous because we didn't set up our air conditioner because we didn't want to pay the extra money, because we're leaving soon anyway. But the heat in this apartment is it's ridiculous. Like every 5 minutes of, like, you do 2 or 3 boxes and you're just completely drenched. I've been sticking my head in the freezer. I've been wrapping my head with a towel with ice, and it's just bad. And there's just no, like, breeze. Like, there's no ventilation. It just sticks, and everything in here is like all like muggy. It just, oh god. Yeah, so it's a horror. So that's why I've been doing videos. I've been trying to pump out these boxes, and as you can see, if you look behind, I still got a lot to do. It's already Monday morning. I think it's 12:30 in the morning. I'm gonna try to burn through the entire day of Monday just to get everything done, because I have to have everything done and ready by Wednesday morning, because that's when they're coming. That's when they're coming to get the stuff. But yeah, before I get into that stuff, let me get into some subscriber stuff. My thing has been for I can talk to this. My subscribers have been fluctuating. Like, I think like a couple weeks ago I had 209. Now I'm at 203, which is, you know, fine. People don't like it, they leave. It's fine with me. It's no big deal. But because I broke that $200 mark, 200 mark, I actually am going to have a contest. The catch is I'm not going to have it now, because obviously I'm moving. I'm not going to have the time. So I will have one when I get everything situated in the new place. I will have a contest, because by then I'll have, hopefully, obviously I'll have internet by then, and once I'm all situated and everything's all ready to go, then I'll have a contest. One of the prizes, I will say, is going to be a comic that no one has. Well, not no one in the world, but I don't think anyone in the community has this comic, and I have a couple of them. And the reason I don't think anyone in the community has it, well, maybe somebody does, but I highly doubt it. I guess you would call it a key issue if it's that no one really has it. It's because it was only given out to workers, and if you didn't work for this specific company, you didn't get one. But it is a comic book. It is a Marvel comic book, so you'll see it down the line when I do the contest. So that'll be a nice little prize. I was looking through my books, like I said, as I'm, you know, making sure they're secure and ready to go, and I forgot I had all these, and I'm like, oh my god, because when they brought them in, nobody was taking any of them, so I took the whole stack. Yeah, but anyway, we'll get into that down the line. Like I said, once I get everything situated and my job is all, you know, set and secure and everything, and I'll get it done, we'll do a contest, a fun one, and I'll throw some other stuff in there. Obviously, I got a lot of double noggins. If anybody likes those, I'm going to throw them into the contest. Like, you know, a couple Beasts, Dr. Octopuses, Electro, Spider-Mans, Wolverines. I got, you know. Anyway, something very interesting. It was a little hard. I'm not gonna lie, shed a little tear. I went to Bailey's, well, technically, I guess yesterday morning, when they opened, to basically say goodbye to everybody, because they were like second family. You know, I basically lived there. In 1992, October of 1992, yeah, I moved to Lyndhurst, Long Island, from where I was originally living, and basically it was the only place that I've ever been for a long period of time. Like, every place I've gone on, every place I've ever lived was never that long. It was always a year or two max. Never. I was there in Lyndhurst for 8 years, which is a long time. But anyway, I got there in October '92, and I found the comic book store when we were moving through the town to go to our house. I saw it, and I'm like, oh my god. I was like, awesome. I was like, there's a comic book store right, you know, and then I figured out where we lived, you know, the distance. I'm like, I could walk to that, because I would walk to my junior high, which is right up the block from it. So I was like, oh, yeah. So yeah, I've been going there since October '92, straight all the way to like 2000. Then I moved, and I was gone for a couple of years, and I came back in 2003, four, give or take, and it's been going there ever since. So it's been a while, but it was a little rough because as much as I used to bust balls, Tom is a really cool guy. He's the owner. Again, thank God. Um, he's just cool. He just doesn't give a shit, and that's just the way he is. And you get used to him. And then Trung, the manager, always cool. Uh, we were talking about the good old days because this lady had come in and she was buying like all these wrestling figures and wanted these wrestling cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards and whatever it is, and he only had like 2 packs in the box, and then he had a couple unopened ones. And at first she was going to buy an unopened box, and she's like, I'm just going to get a couple packs instead. Uh, and he had to open up a new box, and I remember it used to be funny because Tom hated that because he wanted the other one like gone. Like I actually gave him the idea, which is funny because you would think he would hate if he had a box. Let's just say wrestling cards. If he had a box of wrestling cards, there was like 3 packs in there. He didn't want you to open the box. He wanted those 3 packs gone before you opened the box. But Trung kind of was like, help out the customer, And when I started there, I did the same thing, and he got pissed one time. He's like, "What the hell?" I'm like, "Tom, easy fix." He's like, "What?" I took the packs out of the open box, and I put them into the new box you just opened. Throughout the other box. I'm like, "See?" And he's like, "Damn," and he walked away. But it was cool because I used to, when I first went there at Bailey's, I remember buying. It sparked some stuff as I was watching King Joe's card videos, and I remember the first thing I bought at Bailey's was a pack of cards, and I can't remember what it was. A Marvel card, but I can't remember what it was. I think it was Series 3. Maybe it was 2. I think it was 3. But I remember that was the first thing when I met Trung. I was like, yeah, there was like 2 packs in the box. I'm like, I don't, he's like, oh, do you want a box? I'm like, nah, I don't like the last packs. And he's like, really? So he opened the box, and I'm like, yeah, I want the ones from the middle or the bottom. So, used to bust balls, but yeah, it was fun. Like I spent a couple hours there just kind of going over stuff, and I bought some more Mylars for a couple books I want to bring with me on the. Obviously, I'm bringing them all, but the ones I want to bring in the car. I figured I'd put them in there, a little sturdier. But yeah, it was a little difficult, because basically, like I said, I basically lived there when I was a kid. I was there every day after school. I hung out there so much it gave me a job. I used to help people like all the time because I was like, back then I always thought I was like the king of comics. Like I knew everything about everything. I knew every character. I knew their origins. I knew their first appearance. I don't remember half that crap now, but I pat myself on the back, man. I knew a lot of stuff back then. I remember another thing that was cool was when Superman died. I know it's like basically worthless now, but back then you were only allowed to get one. And they used to bust my balls because he's like, oh, they told me like a week before, he's like, Superman's going to die. I'm like, he's not going to die, And he's like, yeah, it's coming around, it's a death issue. Do you want one? He's like, so we're only going to give, you're only allowed to get one. And it's going to sell out. And I'm like, yeah. So he's like, I'll put you down. And this is before I worked with him. He's like, I'll put you down for one. And I'm like, all right, cool. And the day it came out, I was in junior high. And that's all my friends were talking about. Like, he's like, did you get the death issue? I'm like, because some of my friends actually came in late to school because they were getting the death issue, and what the hell was it? Like my one friend had, he's like, I got it. I'm like, I don't want to look at it. And, I don't want to. I want to, see it for myself when I get home, and it was cool because even some of the teachers were talking about it. Like one teacher was actually into comics. My science teacher's like, hey, he's like, they actually killed off Superman. He's like, you believe this? It was all over the news. You know how it is. They had a tombstone in New York and a whole big thing. And I ran there because I told my mom, and she's like, oh, how much is it? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, probably like $5. And she's like, all right, I'll give you the extra money, but, don't lose it. And I remember running from school. The second that bell rang, man, I was like a bat out of hell. I was, speed. It was ridiculous. And I got there, and I was like, yeah. He's like, we don't have any more. He's like, we sold yours. I'm like, just my jaw like dropped, because my mom went in the morning because I told her how important it was, and picked it up, and she didn't tell me. Obviously, she couldn't tell me because I was in school, and I was just like, oh my god! And he's like, no, he's like, your mom picked it up. I'm like, you know. And then I was kind of like, it's like crap. Now I gotta run home, you know. But he's like, oh, do you want another one? And I'm like, another one? I was like, I'm only allowed to get one. He's like, he's like, it's all right. He's like, well, I'll sell you another one if you want it. I'm like, yeah. So I picked up another one, and my mom wasn't pissed. Normally she'd get pissed, but she wasn't pissed because I got home at 1, and she's like, I got you one. I'm like, I know. They told me. She's like, they did. I'm like, yeah. And she goes, what'd you get another one for? I was like, well, one to read and one to keep sealed. And she's like, oh yeah, good idea. So, but yeah, and we were talking about the Man of Steel, and I told him how I got like the free, you know, little poster, and how it got ruined, and he had one, so Tron gave me another one that's not ruined. Yay! Yeah, he's a cool guy. I was telling him where I was moving to. He's like, oh, my sister just moved there. I'm like, everybody's moving there, which is, I guess, cool. So I told him where I was, you know, and obviously he has my number, and I have his, and I said, you know, you ever come down to visit your sister, definitely come down and visit me. He's like, yeah. He's like, definitely. So that's, at least we're going to, you know, keep in touch because he's a cool guy. But anyway, I had gotten a small haul from a mock time because I had to go there, which I cleared out my stuff. I told them I'm done. But I did ask them because I'm not going to leave until, I think it was let's see, Friday or Saturday I'm supposed to leave. So Wednesday's stuff coming around. I asked him, I told him, like, can you do me a favor? Can you, I was like, I don't want the list anymore, but is there any way you can hold these couple ones? Because I'm not going to be able to get here on Wednesday because that's when the moving company comes, and I could probably get here Thursday, which they're closed. So I was like, Friday. And I'm like, yeah. So a couple ones coming around, so I'm going to hopefully make another video. That'll be my last one until I get situated. But like I said, I went there and they gave me this comic shop news that's just really cool looking. It's got the Joker. I just thought it was really cool, the colors and everything. I might actually frame it. But that's just me. This is Batman number 23. I guess the Joker's back. And of course I got another one of these free Superman things. It just sucks. That's why they're giving them away for free. They can't get rid of them fast enough. But yeah, I got somewhat of a small haul. I did read them all. It's Captain America number 8, which wasn't too bad. I thought this would have been like the finale for the thing, but now they have another one. That's going to be the final showdown. So I'm like, son of a bitch. Which I'm not going to be able to get because I'm going to be moving, obviously, and it's going to take some time, so it's going to take a while to get that one. But of course, it wasn't a bad issue. Basically, he fights Ian, who was Zola's son, who Cap raised him as his son, and eventually he kind of turns him around, and then, spoiler alert if you don't want to know these things, Sharon Carter, I think her name is, I think that's who it was, because he says Sharon, at the end shoots the kid, and she's like, I'm here to save you, and I'm like, okay. But it wasn't bad. I got this basically for the cover, because I love Bullseye. This is Daredevil number 27, and it basically explains what happened to Bullseye, in a nutshell. So it was pretty cool. Not that bad. I'm interested. The art is actually pretty cool. It's almost like cell shading. Pepsi. And there's the choice of next generation. Man, it's so dry in here. But anyway, yeah, so that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not really much to go into on that one. What sucks, though, is I'm going to have to friggin' really work on this crap, is because it's so humid in this apartment that all my comic books have, like, ripples going across them. You really can't see it, but it's like just a ripple effect on every one of the new ones, and I'm like, oh, God. But anyway, I got Deadpool number 12 because I wanted to finish that story arc. It's pretty cool. He fights this demon guy, and then Mephisto shows up and basically kicks the demon's ass because Deadpool made a deal with him. And it shows like inside Deadpool's head and how his mind now is unlocked, and I guess he's gonna be like Wolverine, like remembering crap. And I'm like, oh. But anyway, it was pretty good. Batman Superman number 1. I didn't like this that much. I know, I was like, what do you mean? I don't know, it was just kind of, it just felt stupid. Like, Batman kind of seemed like a bully, in a way. I mean, and Superman was just kind of crappy looking. You know, he's like his Action Comics version, where he's got that little short, itty-bitty cape that's like up to the bottom of his shoulders, and, you know, I don't know, I mean, I liked how the cover, like the feel of the cover. I wish all the comics were like that now, because it doesn't hold my prints, which is cool. No matter how many times I wash my hands and read one of these comics, it freaking gets prints on them. So unless I do it my other way, like I said, I put the full thing in. I showed that before, but anyway, I wasn't really a fan of this one. I didn't think it was all that great, so I might pick up number 2 just to see how it expands, but the original Batman Superman thing was much better than this. Moving on. All new X-Men number 13. This was pretty cool. Basically, I don't know what's with comics lately, especially Marvel, but they always do like the beginning page is always like um, something happens, and then the second page is 6 hours earlier. It's like, oh my god. But that's like in every Marvel comic now lately. It's just 6 hours earlier from now, or 3 days earlier. It's like you're killing me with this crap. But it was pretty cool. It goes on to stuff like how Alex Summers is like talking about how he doesn't like people calling him a mutant, the M word, because it's derogatory, and then Kitty Pryde's like, no one would have known I was Jewish, unless I, whole big thing in there. And Mastermind, the girl Mastermind, actually unlocks Jean Grey's Phoenix power by messing with her. And that's pretty much the end of the thing, is she lights up, and Wolverine's like, no, so. But it was pretty cool. I still, every one of these issues I've liked, so it's been cool. Wolverine number 5. What is it? Drowning. It's pretty interesting. Talks a lot about, basically he's on the SHIELD helicarrier, and they're going, like, Nick Fury, they're all under the influence of those alien things still, which they claim was done last issue, but apparently not. And Wolverine figures it out because he gives Nick Fury like a false name, and like he's kind of hesitates, and he's like, yeah, hesitated, and he goes at him with the claws. And they basically plunge the helicarrier into the water, saying that this new ship, Hercules, is supposed to go after Atlantis, Namor and stuff like that, if ever the case arises. But it's basically Wolverine just going through the whole entire helicarrier, kicking everyone's ass until they try to drown him. Moving on, Justice League of America number 5, which is almost like one of the biggest slaps in the face, but at least it was quick. The issue before it, they're sneaky. Spoiler alert, like I said, if you don't want to know. They kill Catwoman. They shoot her in the head point blank, she's done, she's dead on the ground, bleeding out, blah, blah, blah. This issue, it looks like it's the funeral that they're having for Catwoman. What you find out in this issue is that it wasn't Catwoman that got shot, it was the Martian Manhunter. I'm like, wow, you sneaky bastards, that's the best way to get out of something. It's like, I was a shapeshifter. Because they go to do an autopsy or whatever it is, something, and like the blood is still leaking out, and he's like, why is the blood boiling? And all of a sudden it turns into the Martian Manhunter. And I'm like, and then Catwoman's on the next page fighting somebody else. Like, we thought we killed you. No, you didn't kill me. Sneaky bastards. Injustice, Gods Among Us, number 6, which I thought was going to be the last one of these, but apparently not. It's still going, folks. It's still going. Which, it's cool, but, it's like, how many are you going to have? Like, it's supposed to be the story before the game. But this one's pretty interesting. Basically, Damian Wayne, who's Robin, kills Dick Grayson. Probably should have said spoiler on that one. But, yeah, anyway, spoiler alert. Kills Dick Grayson, and like Batman just kind of flat out snaps, and Superman finds Catwoman and tells her, you have to go talk to him and just do something, because I can't, because it's too far gone now. It's just, there's nothing I can say to him that's gonna make him, and she shows up at the Batcave and saying how she's been visiting the cave like every night for years, stealing things here and there that he doesn't know about, which he probably does. He's Batman, he's not stupid. But yeah, she goes there and she sees like Alfred like completely drunk, because obviously Dick Grayson's dead, and Batman is literally punching this like post, and when you see like him pull back his hand, like he's got the batsuit on, so like that's armored. All the armor is completely gone. There's just blood coming down. His knuckles are all like broken. He's just still pounding away on the post. And Catwoman's like, you got, stop. For once, just stop being Batman. And for once, you're allowed to fall apart. And he just drops and he's just like, it's crazy. But it's cool. But now, of course, like I said, they have another issue after that, which I thought it was a 6-issue series, but apparently it's going to keep going. But moving on to my last one, Batman: The Dark Knight number 21. Which is the conclusion to the Mad Hatter thing. This was sick. This was pretty cool. Like, the Mad Hatter kills Batman's girlfriend, who was a pianist. I think that's what you call the piano people. And he sees her lying on the bat signal, and he swoops down. And, like, Gordon's like, he's like a pterodactyl. He's like, I've never seen him like that. And he's just, I guess everything, after a while, it takes its toll. And he just really just beats the shit out of not only the Mad Hatter's crew, but like the Mad Hatter himself just literally just kicks his ass and like basically throws him in like this pool. They call it the Pool of Tears, and he's drowning him. And Alfred's like, "You can't do this, you can't do this," and Batman's just kind of like ignoring him, like, "The hell I can't." And he walks away, and Alfred's like, "You have to save him, don't let him drown." He's like, "Because you'll be no better than the rest of them." And you see him lower his head, and he just jumps in the water and pulls him back out. And I was like, "Holy shit!" But it was cool, very cool. And that will complete my whole interesting things. Like I've said before, I'm an Injustice fan. The game is cool. Um, Two funny things happen. Well, one thing kind of freaked me out a little bit, but two funny things that happen in the game, because I always seem to find the assholes whenever I play online. Uh, I am getting a lot better, though. It's kind of scary. I guess you're supposed to improve, otherwise you're doing something wrong. But I play, I'll take a break from packing, and I'll play like an hour of gaming, which is probably not the best thing to do when you're trying to on a deadline, but Tuesday, apparently, we get General Zod and a couple of Blackest Night skins. I think it's like Batman, Aquaman, Hawkgirl, and then they have like an Earth 2 Grundy and a Man of Steel costume. Um, and supposedly the second season pass or something like that is coming out. But now Ed Boon is claiming it's completely different because he changed it due to fan reaction and the fact that the guy, I guess, hacked the program. So, but you never know with Ed Boon because he's very sneaky. Supposedly there's definitely no Sub-Zero now because fans were just too pissed off that Scorpion was in it. They wanted an all DC game. Which Scorpion is a cheap mother, I'm not gonna lie. I do like using him, but he's really cheap, especially with that teleport. But it would have been cool just to have like all DC. So he's claiming there's no bonus characters, which would be Sub-Zero, and he's also claiming there's no more Bat characters. So that kind of takes away the Red Hood possibility. But apparently somebody was looking deep into the code or something like that again, and they still, they claim now that it's Martian Manhunter, Zatanna, Swamp Thing, Static Shock. Those are the four characters now. No Power Girl, no Red Hood. But who knows? Who knows? Like I said, Boone is very sneaky. If you ever played Mortal Kombat back in the day in '92, it took, that was before the internet. You didn't know anything for like months and months and months. Even like I'd say like at Mortal Kombat 2, like a year later, I was still finding crap out. But yeah, so you never know. But anyway, what happened with me? I was playing online yesterday when I came home. And this one kid I was playing against, like, he picked Doomsday, and I'm trying to get good with Doomsday myself. And not gonna lie, he kicked my ass. Definitely kicked my ass. But just the way he kicked my ass. Because Doomsday versus Doomsday is kind of like an awkward fight. Like, it just basically who can outspam the other guy first in a roundabout sort of way. And I was actually trying to work on combos, so I was more interested in trying to get like things like down than anything else. But he still whipped my ass. And as he's kicking my butt, he's just like, like just screaming in the mic. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. And second beat, he's like, yeah, my Doomsday is greater. Ah. He's like, yeah, what? You got nothing. Ah. I'm like, you need to relax. He's like, what does that mean? And then like it goes, it cuts. And he sends me a message. He's like, what are you talking about, fool? And I'm like, you really need to switch. He's like, switch to what, you piece of crap? And I'm like, you need to switch to decaf, man. And he's like, what does that mean? I was like, there are a lot of tasty brands out there. Just as tasty as the real thing. And he's like, oh, screw you. It was just funny though. And then this other guy, I was totally in the zone. Gamers know what I'm talking about. Like you're just totally focused on it. And there's nothing else that is around. And I was playing as the Flash. I'm trying to get with the Flash. And I literally, this guy, his level, like I'm at like 68, I think it is now. I would have been 82 if I didn't have to freaking constantly start over, but anyway, I'm at 68, and this guy I was fighting was like 210, or some crap like that. And he's talking trash the entire time before he even picks his character. He's like, no matter who you pick, I have a counter for it. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever you say, blah, blah, blah. I picked the Flash, so he picks Grundy, which actually is a pretty damn good character against the Flash. Because the Flash, you gotta keep in close, and Grundy will destroy you in close. But basically, every Grundy player plays the exact same way. They hit you with that one combo that does into a grab, and then they do that over and over again, and then they try to spam the hands, and it's the same thing. So I'm like, alright, what the hell? So I picked the Flash, and like I said, this guy's talking trash. He's picked Grundy. He's like, oh, you just lost. He's like, well, don't even bother playing me. The second the thing says begin, I destroyed him. Just literally, rushed him and just started nailing him over and over and over with everything I had. and didn't let up. Did not let up. I would throw him, I'd nail him, and this guy's like, what the, you could hear him. He's like, what the fuck, what the hell? He's like, ah. And he's like, this is ridiculous. He's like, oh, he's like, you're cheating. I'm like, how am I cheating, right? I'm not even talking to the guy. I'm just, like I said, I'm totally in the zone. I'm hearing him, but I'm not hearing him. And he hit me like twice, I think, the entire game, and I destroyed him. And just as the thing's like done, he's like, this sucks. He's like, I can't have a failure. There's no failure, because the thing that's weird, like, he had like, I think like 3,000 wins, and I think like 100 losses, which is insane. And he's like, I can't have a failure. And all of a sudden, it sounds like here. I'm like, what the? It was. I hope he really didn't shoot himself, but that was just really, really weird. That you hear like a gunshot. I'm like, okay, like it really freaked me out. I'm like, what the hell? I actually turned the thing off and put the game down. I'm like, I'm done for the day. But yeah, it was insane that I destroyed these people. So trash talking is interesting, but you got to be able to back it up, I guess. And when you think you're going to be better than somebody, there's always somebody that's going to come around and kick your ass. Especially when you're looking for them. I'm the best player, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and then somebody comes around and destroys you, and you're like... Anyway, it's long enough video as it is. Like I said, I'm going to try to hopefully make a video next week. I know it's 4th of July, and like I said, I've got the moving people coming. I'm not going to make one, obviously, this is the one I'm making until I get another haul, because I really got to crack down in here and start doing some work. I mean, it doesn't look any different, but if you look in the cave, like, just boxes stacked upon boxes and boxes, I'm like, oh my god. Never knew how much crap I had. Anyway, I want to thank everybody, all my subscribers, new subscriber, everyone who watches this and comments. I appreciate it. I haven't really been watching a lot of videos. I'm really sorry. Just like I said, I got to pack. I got to get everything done. And granted, I haven't taken a lot of injustice breaks. But once I get settled and I'm in a new place, I'm definitely going to start watching a lot of videos, so you get a lot of stuff. So Ben, Mr. Fix It Smash, I'm sorry I haven't watched your videos lately, and King Joe, I've been kind of sporadically watching his stuff, and Hippies, Hero Hunter, I'm going to get into you guys. Gimpy, congrats on the contest. Hero Hunter, congrats on your contest. I know, I think it ends today. But they were fun. Like I said, I'm going to have one when I get settled and situated and stuff like that. Then I'll actually really start burning through some videos when I'm not looking for a job. But anyway, thanks everyone. Love this community. Everyone here kicks ass. I'm not trying to kiss any ass, but everyone does kick ass in here. Everyone's cool. Always have great stuff. I'm actually gonna, when I get my next little break, I'm scheduling breaks when I do my packing. I'm actually gonna watch Gimpy's video with his bonus check money. Gotta watch that. 40 minutes. It's worth it. Anyway, it's not the size of your man cave that matters. It's what you have in it. And I have a lot in it. It's not full. Like, yeah, I guess it would be full, but I have a lot in there, but there's always room for more. Later.